Hi, I'm Jack Koenig, and this is the Graco G3 Max with DMS. The distinguishing feature of the DMS pumps is a USB port. There's a water-resistant cap over top of the USB port which needs to be twisted off before we can do anything with a flash drive. To download data, simply plug a USB flash drive into the USB port. You can see the screen now says data, which means it's downloading the data. The G3 pump stops pumping as soon as the USB flash drive is plugged into it. The system automatically begins downloading data to the USB drive. Data is displayed while the system is downloading files. When the download is finished, Done is displayed. Remove the USB flash drive and the G3 pump will restart its cycle in the off mode. For example, this has the factory default of 8 hours off, so it immediately started counting down 8 hours off when I removed the USB flash drive. When you plug the flash drive into a PC running Windows 7, this is what you will see. If you had other folders on the drive already, they will still be there, but you can see that the G3 has created a folder called Graco as a place to store its DMS data. Within the Graco folder, you will find data which is filed under the DMS ID number. In this case, it is number 97. We'll talk about the other folder in a moment. If the same flash drive was used for multiple pumps, then each pump's data would be filed under a folder with a unique DMS ID number to identify it. Now, if you have multiple pumps, how are you going to tell the difference between the data sets for each pump when you get it back to a computer? The answer is with a DMS ID number. Every pump we've ever made has a different DMS ID number if it has the DMS feature. To see the DMS number, simply hold down the arrow, and as long as you're holding the down arrow button, the DMS ID number displays. Once you take your finger off, it'll go back to the normal mode, and it doesn't interrupt the counting, as you can see here. In this case, this is DMS ID number 97. If you have multiple pumps, each of them will have a different number. Under the folder for each DMS ID number, there is a folder named for the date the data was downloaded. This allows you to keep track of multiple downloads from different days. Within the folder named for the date, we finally see the CSV data files. CSV is short for comma separated values, which is a very simple file format. Having a simple format means that you, the customer, can open this file with a variety of programs. Microsoft Excel may be the most convenient, but if you don't have Excel, then you can use a different spreadsheet program, or even the program called Notepad, which is included with Windows for free. The bottom line is that you don't need a special program to view the data files. Going through each of these files in the video would be too time-consuming, so I ask that you refer to Manual 332-305 for more details on these files. To copy settings from one pump to another, first insert the USB flash drive and allow the screen to go through data and done as we did in the previous step. Next, hold the up and down arrows. When the screen changes to data, it's copying the setup files. They will be saved as a file that will be in a folder that says Graco and a subfolder G3 config. Within that subfolder, the file name is g3config.bin. When it changes to data, that means it's finished copying and the pump restarts again. We can now remove the USB flash drive. In the last step, we downloaded files from the pump to the USB drive to copy them to another pump. Now we're going to paste basically those settings by uploading them from the USB drive to the other G3 that we want to program. When you put the USB drive in, it's going to go through that data and done process again to download data. You have to let that finish. That can take up to 30 seconds. Once it's done, to upload, we use up and cancel. That said data very briefly and switch to done because it doesn't take very long to upload the file. Once it's uploaded, pull the USB drive out and go to setup mode with up and down arrows. Make sure you pull the USB drive out before holding up and down. Then go through the clock setting. Set the clock and the date and time. And once date and time are set, hit cancel to exit setup, and now the settings have been copied. If two pumps are in the same physical location, then there is no need to use a PC to view the files in between your download and upload. But if you want to send a file via email, then you need to know where to find the file. First, open the Graco folder on your flash drive, and then look for a folder called G3config. Inside of that folder is the bin file, which contains all of the program settings within it. This file can be attached to an email and sent anywhere there is an internet connection and a way to save it to a flash drive. The one trick is the folder structure, or what you might call the file path. For the upload process to work, this file has to be saved under the same folder structure. So first, the person who receives the file must go to the top level of their flash drive and create a folder named Graco. Then inside that folder, they have to create a folder named G3config, and finally the bin file can be saved within G3config. All this does is recreate the file path or folder structure that the G3 created on the original flash drive, or what you might call the source drive.